I'm Tanya Curry, and this is this week's Acumen Media Report. It's entitled Hollywood Style, Keeping Up with the Zumas. Insurrection arrests made Duduzile Zuma nervous as she tweeted that she was due to be arrested today, Friday the 19th of August, in Hollywood style. Hollywood, the place South Africa is absolutely not. I mean, you can compare us to other countries easily, but Hollywood style? Not here, Dudu. Not here at all. SAPS have been nabbing insurrectors all week, an average of 8 a day if I've read the headlines correctly. We've never heard their names before. We aren't glued to our seats because we all know that we were played and that the Zuma twins and uBaba did it. Oh, come on. The whole of South Africa knows who started the coup d'etat in South Africa. In fact, they haven't stopped. There's no need for a clever machine or state-of-the-art data to work it out. Now, over a year later, Dudu is starting to quake in her Jimmy Choos. Hollywood. Chuck her in the back of a police van and unceremoniously dress her in orange, South African style. I'm here. I'm truly back. It's Friday, so let's scratch the surface of these and other stories that made the media this week and made us weak at the knees. This Dudu story was off the back of more than just the arrests. You see, Zuma, uBaba, was making a feeble attempt to argue that he is terminally ill. He will not release the medical report that tells us what terrible illness he has, but he can't possibly return to jail. And that was the massive story. That was the beginning, or is it the beninging?
In the beginning. In the beginning. Yeah. In the beginning. Yeah. In the beginning. In the beginning
Of the week. Mpofu, yes, he's multitasking. He's juggling the two major politicians of the true opposition, Makwabane and Zuma. Mpofu said that there could be no doubt that Zuma's illness was terminal. Excuse me, because this is going to sound harsh. We're all going to die in the Sylvia Plath sense of the word. Is that what Dali means? I mean, we've seen Zuma dance around, take pics with his kids, have tea parties, attend events, and he seems absolutely fit to attend them. And this began as far back as lockdown. Makwabane has been busy. Apparently she had a fight with Udali. She grabbed the laptop off him to change a legal document, and when he told her that she cannot do that, she said, "I don't care." Very Hollywood, South Africa. Of course you don't care, Busisiwe. Your actions are much louder than your words. The Freda dairy farmers got you all worked up, see? No one wants Ace Magashule on their backs. She even wanted her spokesperson fired because she called her by her first name, Busisiwe. So let's all say it together. Busisiwe, Busisiwe, Busisiwe must fall. And so the case continues with Mpofu speaking down to every witness like a bully in the schoolyard. I have the utmost respect for the witnesses he cross-examines, because if it were me, the lip would have come out and I'd have shouted right back. Proper Hollywood style, a bit like Jerry Springer. Makwabane and Mpofu are trying and failing to get Ramaphosa to testify. They begged all week, but the answer from our cupcake? That's a no from me. Hollywood style. Steenhuisen tried to act woke by telling MacG that his ex-wife was roadkill. Yes, you heard me right. Roadkill. He said that the DA had called the FBI to investigate the Pala Pala Farmgate story. Was Scotland Yard busy? 4 retired judges have been asked to launch an inquiry into Ramaphosa's conduct. Yawn. This is typical. SA Hollywood. We have 10 committees and inquiries and nothing at all happens apart from more problems. Another story to rock the DA was that Natasha Mazzoni was removed as chief whip and Garuba took her place. Mazzoni is apparently now working in the back benches of the Joint Standing Committee. Listen, if Natasha can't deal with Zilla, no one can. In other DA news, they put up another billboard. This time the message was to Cele about his crude comments about being lucky to be raped just once, Hollywood style. I heard some scuttlebutt about Patrice Kopane exiting the DA too. The more things change, the more they stay the same. And then the blockbuster started. Tshwane Mayor Randall Williams is heard on a leaked, ordering officials to support his decision to approve an unsolicited bid for the refurbishment of power stations. He skips all processes and tells the crew that 26 billion must be given to his set of chommies. And so the hamster wheel keeps churning as South Africa is burning. Now they've put a motion of no confidence in this man, but why hasn't he been sent directly to jail? True Hollywood style. Hollywood style. We should be so lucky. The ANC elective conference is about to kick off with the message that any members charged with serious offences will not stand for election. I think the word charged is key. So basically, Zuma, Ace, and a couple of others from the RET are not welcome. This was during the same period where the opposition parties called for an impeachment proceeding against Cupcake, our president. Why? Well, it's that farm thing again. He put dollars in his couch. Someone called the FBI. Oh yeah, the DA did. Look, I'm not downplaying Farmgate, but next to Remember Kwezi and state capture, the couch doesn't quite make me seethe like Zuma does. The president has been under fire all week. He was blamed for Marikana, and all those that were interviewed on the TV said that they wanted him to apologize. They seem to have forgotten who was president at the time. Zuma. So why does Rama have to apologize? It was either Zuma or the head of police that said, shoot to kill, and they should be the ones grovelling. In fact, what was that chick's name? She should definitely have been held accountable. But instead, in true SA Hollywood style, a huge crowd gathered and was heard singing Wenzeni Uzuma on Marikana Day. Thousands and thousands of people on the hill of tragedy. AMCU leader Matunjwa made it clear that the country was in a terrible state and that the accountability for the massacre lies solely at Ramaphosa's feet. He even called the ANC a white monopoly capital party. Let me justify my tone here. Should Aaron Motsoaledi pay for the sins of Life Isidameni? Let's be fair. Both stories hold parallels, except the one was without a strike and saw helpless people die because we just forgot about them. Both never received compensation. No one apologized. Wait, actually, I tell a lie. Motsoaledi got on his knees and begged for forgiveness from South Africa, and still nothing happened. No arrests, no compensation, just a pile of bodies and a sets of families left lost. Hollywood style indeed. If you believe Julius, and for the most part I do, then you'll believe that Mbeki is tipped to be the new deputy or president. We were so upset with Mbeki. We called him a drunk, we blamed him for the many HIV deaths, and now it seems like he's a good option. Yeah, it's like that in SA Hollywood. Next thing, Malema drops another file. Apparently Mbeki is plotting with Arthur Fraser to remove Ramaphosa. It was then that Mbeki used the word of the week, scuttlebutt. Oh, I love it. Scuttlebutt Hollywood style. Scuttlebutt. A noun, meaning gossip or rumour mill. What a great word. You can almost see the back end of gossip scuttling back into its hole. Love it. It's definitely my new favourite word.
It's the best. Love it.
I digress. Eskom cut off illegal connections. Don't hate me, but I really find the story revolting. You choose the depth of winter to cut the poorest of the poor. Why are there illegal connections anyway? That's where we should start. That should be our first question. They are there because government made false promises and it's really cold. End of. Who will keep our small children warm in this cold winter of our discontent? The state of the place. Apparently, during the previous 3 months, SA households have been 1.3 trillion rand poorer than they have ever been. Talking about incompetence and thieves, the ANC have been ordered to pay 10 million rand a month to come into their staff's pensions funds. This is because they've been stealing from their own workers' pensions contributions every month for years. Please, can we have a Hollywood-style arrest? Please. Don't worry too much, though, because the 350 rand grant has been extended to more people. 350 rand. That's our living wage. This is not Hollywood. Pave paradise and put up a parking lot. Shanawaz Ashgar, a 6-year-old boy, was abducted, and social media and news media immediately waited for the ransom demand. How come? How do we know? We know because a few days later, there it was, a demand for money, and the child has since been released from 6 heavily armed gunmen. Staying with our children, Tasnie van Beek's alleged killer appeared in court this week. He reckons foreigners did it. I suppose he's just following SA's xenophobic narrative. I'm surprised he didn't say the Zumas did it. SA Hollywood. And by the way, still nothing, zip, zero, nada on the tavern incident that killed our children. No toxicology report, no feedback, no rage, just tears from the parents who've been left out in the cold and the dark. Let's pick up the pace because I'm running out of words. Finally, Enoch Godongwane was charged with sexual assault and his docket was handed to the NPA. COSATU calls for a national shutdown on Wednesday due to an extraordinary high fuel and food prices. Quebeca is heading for day 0 as the taps run dry. Thandi Modisa arrived in Russia for a global security meeting. In other words, Putin wants payback. Didi Mabuza apologizes for the KZN flood debacle. Cattle movement has been stopped due to foot-and-mouth disease. Eskom re-entered the stage and switched the lights off again. This despite those pesky poor South Africans that took their human rights from the pole outside. Level 2 this week. The lights go out on Broadway. Here at my home, Shishlui Umfolozi Gatehouse was set alight because of wildlife escaping the park. If you believe that scuttlebutt, you're missing the point. The Bokke lost and Miss Nokeri was crowned Miss South Africa. The royal household is in a mess and Buthelezi tries to restore calm. Can he please live forever? What would we do without him? Tokololo Magesh Shabalala passed away this week, and tributes filled timelines as we honoured his life and his craft with TKZ. Talcum has had more bidders than Scorsese has Academy Awards. True Hollywood. Talking about Hollywood Academy, they apologized to a true American, an Indigenous American, because they'd booed her off the stage 50 years ago. Do you think she feels better now? Her land was grabbed, her countrymen savagely murdered to the point of genocide, but apparently one feels better when we do things Hollywood style. Across the border, Kenya has a new president, and they've put up high-speed internet on top of Kilimanjaro. So smart. Hollywood style indeed. Elon Musk is a plonker. This time he's tweeted that he was buying Manchester United and then tweeted back to say it was a joke several hours later. Just like Dudu, we see you, you unhinged megalomaniac. Salman Rushdie was stabbed in the neck decades after writing the Satanic Verses. Hold on to your weekend, folks. Steer clear of scuttlebutting. It's a verb. I'm Tonya Curry, and you've just scratched the surface with Acumen Media.